Right, well, I don't think I've done this one before. Let's see if this works. It's level 3. Keeping my body up nice and straight is the most important part when it comes to the stepper for me. I'm not trying to lean forward. I'm not trying to just climb stairs for the sake of climbing stairs. You can't really see it from here, but I'm turning my feet out slightly. 2 reasons. One, I can get my whole foot on the step because my foot's a little bit bigger than the width of the step, first of all. And second, if it push through the glutes on the way up, it's almost like a little bit of a lunge exercise. It's almost like I'm doing a whole bunch of single-legged lunges. Not quite as tough because I'm not putting all of my body weight on it from all the way down on the ground if I would be doing lunges. But it's enough for me to get a decent little workout, and essentially with a bunch of high reps, if I'm doing 50 steps, that's 250 mini lunges on each leg, so to speak. So I think it's pretty good. All right. Today's session is going to be mostly higher repetition. I did some heavy stuff in the last session. So today I'm going to go a bit more lightweight. Not really going to use too much weight. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'll probably do 2 sets. One sort of warm-up set, about 10 reps. And then another working set with maybe a slight increase of weight, not too much, but trying to essentially double the reps. So double the reps of the warm-up with added weight. So that might seem a little awkward and different, but I don't think I've ever done anything like that, like specifically with that sort of programming. So I'm gonna give it a shot, see how it feels, and yeah, I'm sure you'll hear all about it. Beautiful day outside today. I have been told the weather in these parts of the woods gets a little cold all of a sudden and then starts to fluctuate between fairly hot and fairly cold almost on a daily basis. So that's interesting. Don't really know what to expect when it comes to that part, but I'm seeing it today. Beautiful day. And it's gonna be a freezing weekend. So the contrast is definitely there. Thinking probably some shoulders. As in a shoulder press, I'll probably do like a barbell shoulder press. Let's see what we'll do after that actually. Might stick with some barbell work. Stick with barbells. So maybe a barbell bench press and a barbell bent over row or something. Keeping it relatively easy, trying to be in the gym when it comes to actual weights. Not this stuff, or the reverse walking, and especially not the chatting that I'll be doing to the guy at the front desk, because we get along and have nice little chats every once in a while. So not that time, but the time just for lifting weights, I want to try and spend only about 30-40 minutes, 45 minutes max, as I am coming in almost every day. Plus Saturday and Sunday coming up, or Friday night and Saturday night coming up, and those are my 2 busy days. And I'm sort of awake a good 20 odd hours straight on those 2 days in a row, just for work and whatever. So, quick talk on that. I usually am up pretty early, like with the sun, and with daylight savings having kicked in just recently here, the sun has been getting me up a little earlier. I don't black out my blinds. I don't wear a mask, nothing like that. It's dark pretty early, so I go down pretty early. But it's up early, so I'm up early too. And then when everything starts to get dark here, I sort of have to get ready to go to work. So I'm doing a couple of night shifts on Fridays and Saturday nights, helping out a buddy with his business. And on those days, I'm up 22-ish hours straight. I'm not a big fan of naps, especially not naps in the afternoon, because I tend to screw up my pattern because I don't normally nap during the week. So what I've realized is, just like anything, as you get more and more reps in, it gets a little easier. You naturally get a little bit better at it. And I've become better at staying awake for 22 hours and then sleeping only about 4, maybe 5 hours before doing it all over again. And I've been able to hold on to pretty decent metrics and analytics on my Aura ring, even though I'm doing those crazy sort of times, because now I think my body's recognizing the pattern of having 5 nights in pretty good pattern, and then 2 nights off that pattern, but also within the pattern, if that makes any sense. At first it was screwing me up all over the place, but recognizing the pattern, you know, 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. Every once in a while there's an extra one in there, but for the most part it's 5 days, 2 days. The 2 days are exactly the same days, exactly the same times, and exactly on the same days of the week. So there is a pattern there. The body does love patterns. So once you give it enough time for it to recognize that it's a pattern, it'll adapt. It'll give you what it is that you need. I don't find myself super tired. I find myself in pretty good condition. I find myself working out pretty well when it comes to that kind of stuff. I might not do anything too physical that first day, that day in between, but the next day, the second day after the second night, I'm still here. In fact, the first video of my series was filmed on the morning of after only about 4 hours sleep. So it doesn't really obstruct, it doesn't really stop me at all. All right, creeping up on 500 steps, so I'm gonna end that and see you guys on the floor. Okay, a little loud in here, so let's see what we can do. Got shoulder press, yes, in the squat rack. Nobody around. I think I'll get away with it. Might get the hate in the comments, but that's okay. Start off with just a warm-up set. Just the bar, 20 kilos, 44 or whatever, 45 pounds. I don't shoulder press a lot, as I've mentioned in previous videos. It's more about a repetitious movement for me, making sure that everything's still functioning fairly decent. Collarbone issues on the left and AC joint issues on the right. Decently able to move and do stuff as long as I maintain pretty decent form. Don't load up too heavy. Doesn't mean my shoulders can't handle some load, so I will load them. But I'll load them with higher repetitions and slightly less weight, which is what I'm going to do now by checking on these plates. So I'm gonna go 10 pounds and 5 pounds, so 15 pounds either side. That way I'm able to do a bit of a drop set if I need to. Oh, it's not even 15. It's 10 pounds and 2.5. So it's 25. So double the weight. Okay. So, righty, decent working set here. I'm gonna try and get around 15 to 20. Hopefully get there. Either way, any work's better than no work. Just making sure that the technique stays good. Oh. 15. Just gonna drop this weight. Tiny little 2.5 pound weight, which makes it feel like a bit of a pussy, to be real. But I'm feeling it, so care factor is pretty low. And I'll finish up with a drop set. Essentially going in straight. Let's see what we do here. Got another 10 out there. I'm gonna try finish off with just the bar. So our drop sets finish off with not exactly huge weights, but as I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm not here to try and bulk up or anything. In fact, the more weight I lose, the better on my knees and back. One of those things I got to get used to as you get a little older, a little bit more broken. There's only a certain amount that I can get to without going off into the pharmaceutical side of things. Oh, I don't even know what that was as far as reps is concerned, but it was definitely enough for a working set. So the workout itself is going to be a little rough. Starting to feel a bit of a lull in energy, the little energy burst that I thought I had when I decided to go to the gym a little earlier, but then found out I needed to charge the gizmos in order to create this. It was about an hour ago. And it seems to have lost a little bit of the energy burst that I had. That little lack of sleep last night is catching up to me. And I'm talking about it a lot, not using it as an excuse, but just trying to justify at least why I'm feeling this way. So I'll use a little bit of stored energy and emotional energy and just turn that around. So from here, since I'm in this rack, what I might do is I'll adjust the camera angle for you guys and I'll load up the plate a little bit and do some bent over rows. So I've decided to stick with some plate stuff. There's a few people around on the other side of the gym there. I don't really want to get away with all this camera equipment stuff. It's not really the type of gym that has this type of gym goal with cameras and talking to themselves. It's not really this type of gym, so I'll try and respect everybody a little bit in this way and let them do what they want to do. So I'll adjust the camera now and yeah, I'll see you guys in there. Bent over roast. A bit of warm set, a bit light. Kind of like the feeling of that last drop set there, so Might stick with that. Some whatever that is. About 10 kilos, 20 kilos, about 40 kilos on a light set to start with. And then I'll probably chuck on about another 20 or 30 on each side. No, 20, make it 30 each side, something like that. Give myself a little ability to drop off on the drop set. So here we go, 10 reps. Whew. Right, making sure you keep your body relatively straight when it comes to this. There's a bend in the hip hinge, obviously. I don't like people looking in the mirror personally because it means you're cranking your neck. So I look down, I'm gonna keep my chin and eyesight still cranking out at that 90 degree from the body. So I'm still keeping myself 90 degree from the body, but as I bow my body, so does my head. Not really forcing too much on the tension with my low back. I am leaning back on my heels a little bit. Not sure if you can see my feet coming off the ground, but yeah, I do lean back a little bit. Lean back slightly. Just to make sure that I'm keeping that weight over my heels from the body and the weight from the bar on the inside part of my toes. A lot of the times you'll get sore low back or you'll feel pressure in your back when you're doing these type of movements when the bar exceeds over the toe line, the vertical toe line. So I'm trying to make sure that my vertical toe line always has the bar closer to it. That's why you'll see when you taught deadlifts originally, is to keep the bar close to your thighs. The second you take that bar out a little further away from your toe line, the vertical toe line, which is from here up 6 inches or so from my torso or my legs, that's when you'll feel all that weight pop into your back. And that's where the injuries kick in. So, pop some weight on. I'll chuck on a 20 and a 10 so I can do that drop. I can do that drop set. Felt pretty decent. I haven't done anything like that in a long time, so let's see how that feels. But felt pretty good. That's not necessarily too heavy for me, so I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a strain on the body, a little tough as I work out today, but shouldn't pull up too sore or anything from that because a little bit kind of used to this. So, all right, let's I don't know, crank out a good at least 10, maybe 12, and then pull the drop and see what we got from there. Okay. All right, 12. Drop that 10. Oh, that's 25 pounds. I get a little lost on conversions. Still not used to them. But oh, all right, getting good. So might do one more. Find this 25-pound little bad boy and put him back to work. See if we can get another 12 to finish off. Huffing and puffing a bit. It's heavier than I thought. Well, that's cool. Said we'd do it. Here we are. Oh. Oh, oh, yeah. Right. So a little something I find really interesting about this little game, this little mind game that our bodies play with us. Sorry, mind game that our mind plays with our body. Anyway, so it is. What I'm trying to say is that there's this part where you think you've got a whole bunch in the tank. So you're like, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna blow past, you know, whatever number I had set in my head. But then, once you reach like, let's say I said I was gonna do 12, by 7, I thought I had another 10 in me. But as soon as I reached 10, as in total 10, so 3 more reps, all of a sudden the body says, ooh, it's supposed to be hard because we've only got 2 left. Because I'd preset my mind to think 12. So that's why sometimes I don't like to think about the numbers too much. Because I know if I really had, you know, like made that original number, I could have got another 5, 6, 7 reps out of there. And I feel like it's a little bit of a wasted workout. At least if I'm only doing essentially 1 warm-up and 1 drop set per exercise. And I feel like I could have done more. In fact, I'll make sure that I do that on the next time. And I'm trying to stick to that from then on. So I'm gonna do a bar push, I think I'm gonna stick to that. Bar press, bar pull, bar push, and then I'll do some quad extensions. There was someone on there earlier when I first started. It's typically like doing first or last, preferably first, but looks like it's last today. So bench press. The bench press machines on that will become free, so we'll go crank that one. Try to get that one done. Over there. See you guys when I make it. So a couple of people jumped on the bench press machine as I was walking over there. So I've decided to go with the Smith machine. It's kind of a bar, I guess. But decided to go incline. With the Smith machine being able to be a bit more supportive as far as the technique is concerned, and I'm also take something that's a little bit more unsafe for me, which is the incline press. If I was on a barbell or dumbbells, I don't do it very often. So incline work I do on the machine, like this, like the Smith machine, or an actual pin-loaded machine. Just seems to be where I've sort of had most of my injuries. So I'm gonna stick to pin-loaded machine and Smith machines for that. So we're gonna go with, what's that? 20 kilos each time. Let's see what we get out of it. Oh, that's probably a little heavier than I wanted for warm up. Feeling it a little bit more than I think I should for a warm up or a first round set. So I'm gonna do 2 things here. As a result, I'm gonna take a little slightly longer rest period to make sure I recover from that a little better, to be able to push through the second round, which will be that drop set. And I've been doing 3 round drop sets, so I'm gonna do 3 round drop set here. So instead of adding 1 whole blade on top, I'm going to add 2 slightly smaller ones. So I've got the ability to strip off twice. that's essentially what I would say. Quick break for now, and see you guys in a little bit. Right, so the battery's running a little bit low, I can see. So I'm gonna try and crank this out. Runs out, not bad. But let's see, you get drop set out of this. Okay, so the battery ended up dying back in the corner over there. So I ended up doing 9 reps with all 3 plates. Stripped off the first smallest plates, got another 7 reps out, and then did another 6 reps back on the original first big plate weight. So felt pretty good. It was an incline, and then it's been about 3 or 4 minutes since I've made my way over here. Had to wait for a gentleman over the side here who was in the way of the camera angle, because I like this angle a bit better because there's less chance of people walking by. But the gym's starting to pack out now, starting to get to sort of peak time, so I'm just going to get these reps out here. Not going to do anything crazy, just going to do 2 sets of, I'm going to try and get 2 sets of 20, maybe 25, and see if I can crank those out just to fin up and burn off the legs a little bit. So, pardon my language if anything sneaks out, because this is not exactly the lightest weight, but I should be able to crank out at least the first set of 25. Oh, maybe not. I can feel it already. 8. I'm making sure that I squeeze at the top. I'm not really holding the squeeze, but I'm still activating the squeeze, and I'm keeping the toes pulling back towards me all the time. I'm gonna go with about 15, 16, I'm not sure exactly. 15. Let's say one more if I got luck. Oh, that release. For those that know that burn, it's a kind. Oh, I'm gonna bleep that out. It's a bitch, but it's a good one. Makes you know you're alive. Makes you realize you're putting a little bit of effort in where it's needed. I wish I had this kind of burn in every single muscle part when I was training. Actually, I probably wouldn't be able to handle it as much, but at least if I had it there, I know I'm working that part. So the isolation on this center piece of this machinery, the isolation in the quad and the teardrop is really good. So I'm feeling it 100% in here, a little bit on the outside. Vastus medialis, vastus lateralis. But predominantly I'm trying to work vastus intermedius, the middle part of the quad that actually ends up connecting and becoming the patella tendon that actually wraps over and under the patella, the kneecap bone, the only floating bone in the body, and then connects up towards the shins here. The reverse walking also does this. So this is why you'll see me doing these almost every time I'm in the gym. I'm not trying to grow quads. I'm definitely not trying to grow legs at all. I'm happy with my legs the way they are. I'm long and thin, and I've just accepted that. Trying to grow legs had me limping and walking and unable to move for a couple of years there when I was trying to bulk them up a bit. I did a decent job, nothing to be super proud of, but I wasn't able to really progress past sort of physique level body or fitness model level body. But I am 6'4", so I'm holding a decent amount of muscle mass itself. Anyway, enough talking rubbish and trying to elongate this break. I'm gonna get another 25 out. Because I said I would. And I'm trying to stick to my word as much as I can. These days I've been floating around, talking a little too much without enough action. So this is me getting these out in action. Oh, no idea the reps. About 4, 3, One more. Oh my lordy lord. Oh. Oh. All right, well that'll do. Good sesh. Been in here just over an hour. A little bit of bumming around with the camera, batteries and bits and pieces, so I think workout time itself is probably about 45 minutes-ish, which is what I'm here to do and what I'm happy to do on a daily basis. Well, 5 days a week at least. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna get home. Smoothie, fruit smoothie, followed by protein meal, solid meal. And then might crank out big tub of yogurt with protein powder mixed in with my little evening snack while I read my book and get an early night's sleep. Sun goes down here around 4:35, so start to get that lowering and everything energy pretty early. So I'll take the early night's sleeps where I can get them, if I can get sleep. But anyway, see you guys maybe in a little bit on the car ride home. Rightio, we got that out the way. It was a little tougher than I thought it was going to be, but it's done and dusted. Another day, another workout to add to the collection. There's been a few days recently that I've not felt like going to the gym for whatever reason, but still made my way out there. Most of it actually for you guys, saying that I said I would do it, so I'm gonna stick to that. So I want to say a big thank you to you guys for watching, supporting, and doing all the liking and sharing, all that kind of stuff. I'm not really big on that kind of stuff or asking for help, so obviously we all know liking and sharing helps everybody out, so if you can do a little bit of that for me, that would be fantastic. But yeah, I just want to say I'm really grateful. This is my first week of recording and doing these type of things, and I've had a blast. Learning a lot about myself and how I speak, how I present myself, and so I'm trying to work on those. You'll see this is the third video, or the third episode, and just so you know, it's the third camera. I've been trying out a bunch of different things. But actually the first two were the same camera, just two completely different settings, and I found that the quality was much better in the second. Then I realized I have this camera sitting at home doing nothing, and so I've upgraded to that. I will at some point let you guys know what that camera is if anybody is interested in knowing that. I don't know if that makes a difference to you or not, but I will let you know what that is in another video at some point. Otherwise, I'm heading home. Gonna, as I said, fruit shake immediately after, protein shake about 10 minutes after that. Just probably just protein, a couple of about 50 grams of protein and milk, or milk. The fruit will just be berries and melon, pineapple actually, pineapple and berries. And nice and simple, a little bit of sugar, and get rid of this little bit of this lightheadedness that I have from this training session. Again, fasted. It's 4:30 in the PM. Still fasted. Typically we'll have, as I've talked about, a couple of protein shakes and a simple meal and a heavier meal. My simple meal being more of a shake or something, smoothie, fruit, something. So I'm heading into the shopping center to get a few bits and pieces, so I will see you guys tomorrow, or probably not tomorrow, but in the next session. I appreciate you all, and thank you so much for sticking around and dealing with all my ums and ahs and even my random curse words. I apologize. I do swear quite a bit, but it's something I swore to a good friend of mine, if she's listening, that I would calm that down. So I'm just trying to work that one through there, Monkey. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. I feel like a bit of a song I should go there until the next episode. Anyway, peace.